Berhalter, and more reporting from The Athletic. Again, from Paul Tenorio and Sam Stejskal. And their article, which was actually, I think this is 2 days old now, states that one source close to multiple players said Berhalter would, quote, face a major challenge in continuing to command respect from a group that is mostly playing in Europe, end quote. Herc, is this something, nothing, or everything as it pertains to Gregg Berhalter's potential future with the U.S. men's national team?
I think it's everything. You need to have the group buy into the message. And if the majority of the group is already, I shouldn't say majority. If
it's one source close to multiple players. You know what that sounds like to me? Agent.
Okay. Great. Could be. Do you think there's some truth to it?
Sure, but there's also an agenda to it if it comes from an agent, which I don't know, but one source close to multiple players.
But you don't know it's an agent.
Who do you think it is? It's one source close to multiple players.
Who was the report from?
Paul and Sam, same guys.
Paul and Sam. I don't think they just put it out if it's just some random agent. And I'm not saying there's just random agents. But what I will say here is not only do I trust the reporting, there's a logic to it.
Right.
Right?
Just when you say majority, I think it's worth noting it's one source.
And I corrected myself, not majority. But there's a logic to it, right? I've always told you this is a very young group. This is a very green group. What follows that when I say it?
The manager.
Who's the greenest?
Yep.
The manager. And you saw versus the Netherlands, they didn't lose because the Netherlands were better athletes or were in better moment or even better players. Because maybe some of that's debatable, like Gregg Berhalter's comments about Memphis Depay, right?
Right.
You were outcoached. So there is some sentiment. There's some truth to that sentiment there, where if there was a better coach, you can get more out of these players who are already brushing shoulders with some of the world's elite, who are already in some of the best tactical schemes and setups.
I don't think they're looking at it as like, oh, we got outcoached against Netherlands. If it's the players based in Europe, a lot of them are being exposed to elite coaching there. If you're at a Chelsea, if you're at a Juventus,
What'd I say?
Barcelona, Milan, it's really that you're getting the best of the best there.
What'd I say? I mean,
you said Rose. I thought you were talking about players and who they're playing with. You didn't specify.
No, just in general. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. So you're being exposed to something different, and then you come to the national team, and you're saying, you know what? I just think it's a logical question if this manager has the chops to deal with players that are already at a world level competing.
Also from the article, they say another source claims that some players felt Berhalter's messaging was inconsistent as far as who he decided to call up and not call up.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean like playing a high line and Tim Ream doesn't fit that high line, but you call in Tim Ream and then you don't play a high line? And listen, Tim Ream was great. He was great. But that was an excuse for John Brooks.
Do players evaluate all managers like that? Like, even though you didn't play in Europe, when you were with the national team, were you like, oh, what's this guy coming in? What's that guy coming in? Is that a usual thing for players to do?
No, you don't question who comes in. But you do question the message of why they come in.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So if Gregg Berhalter is sitting here saying his defenders need to be athletic, his defenders need to do something, need to play a certain way in a high line, and that is the reason why John Brooks didn't play, okay, well, that goes across the board. And I think those are the inconsistencies there. It isn't the first time that players have expressed their frustrations with the message. You saw Christian Pulisic after the Canada game in Nashville express his frustration with the message or the overall tactical plan against Canada. Okay? There have been moments
criticizing tactics is different than looking at who he's calling in.
You criticize tactics publicly. You're criticizing the coach. That's just a reality.